We've been here at Trecorras since 2008. First crops really were planted for 2009 harvest. I would describe the soils as being farmed out. The place had pretty well been contract farmed by lots of different tenants. The landlord was just after the highest bidder. He was an absentee landlord. That's really where we picked up the reins. We had land rented out for potatoes and we watched the soils wash down the village all summer long. We failed to plant successfully in that autumn. What damage we were doing to the soils with continuous cultivations, mineralisation of the nitrogen, the releasing the carbon. So we then looked at doing something different. Switched over to the Mzuri system after the wet year of 2012. Yes, did we do it gradually? No, we literally threw ourselves straight into it. We sowed 2 lorry loads of machinery. The only thing I kept was the crawler tractor. Everything else was sold and I had to make it work. The machine I opted for was the Mzuri strip tillage. What we have is just a leg on the front which just breaks the soil, just about 6 inches down now. When we first started with the Mzuri system, we'd have to run these legs, they'd be right up to there at least, sort of a foot down, just to try and break any pans that we could find in the soil profile. Then you have a consolidation press wheel to consolidate that back down with the tines ripped through it. And then on the back, we've got the sowing foot. The sowing foot runs in the channel of the subsoiler leg. And then here we have a band coulter for putting 2 rows of seed. The sowing foot is held in the ground hydraulically, so it can't come out. And then the wheel consolidates the seed in, giving you a good seed to soil contact. And then we just got the harrow on the back just to sort of just harrow it in a bit, just level it off. We're just right behind borage. The borage was harvested early August. We've had a couple of chits with the seeds that fell off the crop. They've just been burnt off with glyphosate. And here we are, we're just straight in with the drill. The savings, this is all we do. No ploughing, no cultivations, no stubble cultivations, nothing at all. Just one pass with the drill, which we're sort of doing 11, 12k, and we're done. We're in a mixed farming environment. We have livestock, so we need the straw. That gives us a challenge with collecting the straw and the manure side. We went away from the big square balers, went back to little round balers, and where possible, we'll try and make sure when we cart the straw, we use the tram lines. Yeah. So we're trying not to drive on the land at all, other than planting and harvest really when it's essential. We're using the poultry muck I'm now applying in the spring to a growing crop, and we're using the tram lines for that, so we're spreading that at 24 metres. The farmyard manure, we're now going to apply that behind the herbage seed at the end of the herbage seed's life, so it's 2 years old, and we've got the grass to sort of help carry the machinery. We'll still direct drill the usually wheat into the ryegrass. We'll just plant it straight in with the drill. We won't incorporate manures at all, we just leave that to the worms. Differences we're finding in the soil is it's predominantly a light land, but it was just like sand years ago. Now it's, if you just look at it, it's just starting to structure, you've got this crumb structure and it just falls to bits. And this soil has had, the only cultivations this has had in 4 crops is that Mzuri. We're just finding that it hangs on better in the summer. Crops just seem to be healthier all the time. We don't get waterlogging, regardless of how much rain we have or how fast. And we are quite close to Wales here. We get plenty of rain. Our worm populations are just, well, we have worms now and they're just increasing all the time. Our crops, I think they're healthier all the year through. We're getting a lot better root structure. We don't get this shallow, short root. All our crops are rooting right down, which has got to be a benefit. When we first started with the system, before I took the leap, I was told by everybody that we would see a yield reduction of sort of anything up to 10%, 20% over the first few years, and we've seen exactly the opposite. It's just gone, our yields, they've stayed the same, but now this last 2 years they're just increasing, and I know we're heading the right way.